Viking Warriors, are you ready? Today we're going to be talking about the new album review by Leaves Eyes. It's called Myths of Fate. It's just been released on AFM Records. It's a fantastic warrior album for Viking metalheads. Check it out, metalheads. Now, we all know metalheads that Leaves Eyes were formed by Alex Krull. Now, Alex Krull is also the vocalist for death metal band Atrocity, or a fantastic death metal band from Germany. They've been around for many, many years, but Alex decided he wanted to do something slightly different and formed Leaves Eyes back in 2003. Now, the band was also formed by Alex's former wife, Liv Kristine, who was in a band called Theatre of Tragedy. Now, these guys did released a few albums on Massacre Records, and they were doing very well back in the day. Now, Liv left the band in 2016. Now, the band are mixing Viking Nordic metal with elements of Gothic metal, and it blends really well, as we all know. These guys have been doing some really good albums in the past. Now, if you didn't know, the band were originally formed in Norway. In total, the band have released 9 albums, and the band's debut album was released in 2004. This was called Lovelorn, originally released on Napalm Records. And with the highly successful debut album, the band released their second album in 2005. This was called Vinland Saga, followed by the next successful album, which was called Njord, which was released on 2009, also on Napalm Records. In 2015, the band switched labels and went with AFM Records and released their next album, which was called Kings of Kings. And since signing with AFM Records, the band have released the next album, which was called Sign of the Dragonhead, which was released in 2018, followed by the Last Vikings in 2020. And like I said, the new album is The Myths of Fate, which has recently come out on AFM Records. Liv left the band back in 2016, and their new replacement would be Elina Siirala, who's been with the band since 2016. With Alex Krull sharing the vocal duties, doing the growly vocals, along with Elena doing the melodic female vocals, the rest of the band would be members of Atrocity. So I'm going to tell you who's in the band. Joining Alex and Elena, we would have Joris Nijenhuis on drums, we'd have Micki Richter on guitars, Andrea Nassau on bass guitar, and we'd also have Luke Gerhardt on guitars. I guess you could say this, but these guys are playing Symphonic Viking Metal. The album was produced by Alex Krull. Now, Alex Krull is a fantastic producer. He has his own studio and he works with a lot of bands. He's produced all the Atrocity albums. This has got a really classic production. The artwork was done by Stefan Hellerman, who's worked with the band before, as a fantastic artist, who also did the photography for this album. And the album was produced at Master Sound Studios. So this new album contains 11 songs. I'm going to tell you briefly what the song titles are for this album. We'd have Forged by Fire, Realm of Dark Waves, Who Wants to Live Forever, Hammer of the Gods, In Eternity, Fear of the Serpent, Godless of the Night, Sons of Trigvla. We'd also have Elder Spirits, Enhenja, and also the last one will be Sails of the Dead. So there's the song titles for you. As you can tell, they're very based on Viking mythology. So I'm going to tell you about the opening track now. This is Forged by Fire. Forged by Fire kind of reminds me of a cross between Camelot meets Amon Amarth, musically. As for the vocals, Elena's vocals kind of remind me of Fleur Jensen from Nightwish. And thinking about it, Leaves Eyes would be a fantastic opening act for a Amon Amarth tour. At times, this song and album also reminds me of Atrocity, which is kind of hard not to dismiss because, like I said, all these band members, besides Elena, are all in Atrocity. So you do get that Atrocity death metal vibe with Amon Amarth, also Nightwish and Camelot. The vocal range is not as soft as Liv's. It's a little bit more harder edged, but it's still melodic. Now, this song and album definitely does have dark elements of Gothic metal. Next up is the song Realms of the Dark Waves. This is a really good introduction to playing Gothic metal with death metal and also symphonic metal. Elena's vocals are very well balanced on this song. And like I said, Atrocity's vocalist Alex is doing some death metal growling, and it works really well in favour for this song and album. Elena's vocals are pretty much like Fleur Jensen. She doesn't really quite sing as high as Fleur, but she's got a very powerful range in her vocals. This song also has some fantastic, beautiful vocal arrangements by Elena, especially towards the end of the song. It calms down as a really quiet mellow part. Next up is Who Wants to Live Forever. This song kind of reminds me a little bit of Got Paradise Lost. It's got that gothic elements and dark elements. And at times, it's very operatic with the vocals. Now, this song also doesn't feature Alex Krull. It's basically just Elena doing the vocals, which gives the album a bit of variation. And this song is very beautifully composed. So check this one out, folks. It's called Who Wants to Live Forever? Next song is called A Hammer of the Gods. This is more when Alex Krull returns to the album, giving his growly death metal impressions. I have to say, I have to be brutally honest, I'm not a massive fan of symphonic metal, especially the Viking stuff, but I have to give this band credit for doing such a great album with a fantastic production, some really well thought out songs, and fantastic vocal arrangements by both Alex and Elina. I think I can adapt more to this album only because of the fact that Alex Krull's singing on it, and I'm a big fan of Atrocity, so I can relate to this album more than I can with most Viking albums and symphonic albums. All in all, this is a really, really good album. I'm going to give this album 4 out of 5 because it's got fantastic melody hooks, some great vocals by both Elena and also Alex. Not really my style, like I said, but it's worth 4 out of 5. And if you're a real big fan of this style of music, you're probably going to give it 4.5 or 5. So well done, guys, for releasing a fantastic new album. Sleeves ours. And this album is called Myths of Fate. Like I said, it's just come out on AFM Records. If you do like your Viking metal, horns up metalheads, you're going to really enjoy this. So check it out. Thanks for watching, metalheads. More on reviews coming soon. Cheers, folks.